This is the Popcorn Heroes show review. The Dave Chapelle stand-up. I forgot his name of it.
Sticks and Stones.
There you go, man. Pedro, thank you for saving.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Ladies and gents, this is straight up going to be a spoiler review, where it's not even like...
I mean,
Like, this is straight up spoilers. Like, we're not even going to do a quick review like that. Fuck that. We're jumping straight into it. We're going to talk about the whole special and you know, of course, the controversies that people have brought up because of it. So, if you haven't seen it, and if you don't care, just keep listening. Let's start off with Orlando. What did you think about it?
I liked it. I thought if we're rating it 1 out of 5, I give it a 3.
Ooh, I don't know what I would rate it.
Yeah,
I don't know about rating.
I honestly don't watch enough stand up to rate it, but okay.
I liked it.
This is more of a conversation.
I liked it. I think since his Netflix deal, he's coming out with like 3 or 4 stand-ups already. Mm-hmm. I think this is one of his weakest.
Okay.
And I think it's because now I'm thinking like you ink a deal and maybe you have like things like saved up like videos or whatever, like of live recordings. But I just think that like they've been coming out so quickly that there's no way that you're...
Actually, it's not really that quick. The last special was in 2017. It's been a year and a half or something like that.
Okay.
But 2017, he dropped like 3.
He dropped like, yeah, exactly. So it's like, and some of the topics are still the same. So I'm just wondering like, are you on the road, like working on your material? Because some of this stuff, like, it doesn't pass like mustard, you know? Like it's just like, you know what? This could have been better. I like your idea where you're going at, but your setup is just not there for me.
It feels more like a conversational piece.
Not necessarily. There's one, I forgot which one it was called, that I think it's called...
No, I'm saying like this special itself.
Right.
Dude, he came out with 4 specials in 2017, and then he came out with this one. Right now. So, 4 in 1 year, and then 1 2 years later.
Well, I'm guessing like 2016 he had...
Yeah, but like, the fourth one was it was just like conversation. Like he was an intimate setting. He was just sitting down and just talking shit.
It's probably like the Bird Revelation or something. I'm reading them right now.
Right.
So I only saw the first one, which was The Age of Spin. I think it was The Age of Spin, actually. Yeah, I saw that one, and I honestly think it was okay. He was actually talking very, like, chill. He was kind of saying, like let's be real. And he started telling, like, how it is. So it was more like, yeah, I get it. But it wasn't funny to me. So I've only seen that one, that first Netflix special, and this one. So if I had to compare the two, I think this one's like way funnier. Yeah, way funnier.
I've seen all of them, and I think for the most of them, I think most of them are good. I think most of them are just good. I just think this one for me, it's just like I think you're running out of gas. Like I think you're like, oh wait, like I wouldn't want to see like if you came out with one in 2020, I'd be like on guard, like, ooh, what you gonna do? Because
it's not a lot of time to build up different material.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I think for this one, it's like I made my deal. I think this is his last one. Yeah. I need to keep producing stuff. So let me just turn it out like as fast as I can.
So in this one, he does an LGBTQ joke.
I didn't think that was good.
Okay. So here's my thing. I liked it.
Yeah.
But then I decided to watch his first stand up for Netflix, and he says the joke again, like differently, but it's the same joke, and I'm like, oh. This isn't funny because I already heard it. So maybe that's your thing.
Maybe
he's mentioned it so much that the fourth time you're like.
And to me, it's just too long. It's too long. Yeah. See, with the controversy with like the trans jokes, whatever. The first one was funny. The first, especially I think, or the second special, he has a joke where like basically like there's a trans lady at work, whatever, and like she's like the boss, and it's even more threatening because she can just drop her dick on the table.
Right. Yeah.
And that's funny. Like to me, that's funny because I'm just visualizing. Just a visualizing.
A woman dropping a dick on the table. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then also like the metaphor of like dropping your dick on the table, just that double entendre in a way. It's funny.
It's good.
It's good writing, like in my opinion. Yeah. But the alphabet people, as he starts to joke off, and then he's like the L, the G, and then he has all this. Yeah. He doesn't really name them all out, but he describes them in a way to give you a hint of
to know who it is.
Who it is, right?
Yeah, he's like, these people got a quarter of the alphabet all to themselves.
Right. And I just felt like that one was just really, really long. Like the only part I thought that was funny where he was like, and the Qs, they're hitchhiking and they want to be in the bus, like, oh, I don't know if I belong here, but I want to fuck everybody in this bus. That's the only part that I thought it was funny, But yeah, I think when it comes to comedy, nothing's off topic. I just think how you approach it has to be like it has to be like a sharpened blade, especially if you're gonna attack if you're gonna not attack.
I don't think it's attacking.
Not attack. But if you're gonna talk about these topics, you have to come on at it with some nuance.
Yeah.
And I do think that after the special, he has another 20-minute where he does an interview thing where he just talks, he just rambles. It's not really jokes.
It's really?
Much, yeah.
I turned it off.
In the trailer, if you go into more info, it shows a trailer, and then under that trailer is a 20-minute hey.
It's pretty much audience asking him questions.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And in that part, he talks about how there was a trans woman he met, and he was
one of his comedy shows,
and he was working on the trans jokes, and that she was laughing the most. Yeah. And then at the end, he's at the end of the show, he's drinking or whatever, and he's having a beer, and then she approaches. No.
She's having a drink with, and then he's walking by. And she says hi to him. She's like, "Hey, come have a drink with me." He's like, "All right, fuck it, I'll go have a drink with you."
Right.
You know? And then they have a conversation about the jokes and shit like that.
And she was saying it's so nice, it's so funny that you can make fun of all these other people, but when you hit us, you can't do it. And it's
and she even said you normalized R. Kelly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's why can't you normalize
trans? I was joking about us.
And in that sense, that right there, that story, I think if he were to make that into a joke, it's so much powerful than what he did with the bus ride, the car ride. Mm-hmm. Because right there is just a fundamental thing of okay, we are all people, and we are all we have different beliefs and different cultures. But at the end of the day, we can all laugh at each other because certain situations are funny.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you're doing in a situation, no matter who you are, there is a way to find something funny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's always something funny in everything.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's
I agree.
And so there's ways to tackle this comedy where, and at the end of the day, I think people are going to be, upset to be upset. And I think that's whatever. That's your own prerogative. And I think it's fine. But I just think that if you're going to do these topics, do them at a way where oh man, smart. I never thought of it like this. Yeah. And and the thing is, Dave Chappelle has always been the guy who is so smart at doing these topics that damn, I wish you were 10 years younger. Maybe you're out of place. Maybe you're not in touch anymore.
Yeah, because in his Dave Chappelle show days,
right?
Chappelle
he was
show days,
fucking amazing.
Dude, he was on point. He hit everything.
Everything.
Which is why when I heard this stand up and everyone was like, "Oh my god, he touches all this stuff," and I'm like, "But he always kind of did though."
But that's a problem also with people. I'm just if you go into it, you have to understand who Dave Chappelle is. Right. If you've seen his shit, you know who he is.
He's not gonna back down.
He's not gonna back down. He's always gonna talk shit about everyone and anything. He's fucking done it in his show. He touched everybody in his fucking show. He did a black supremacist, dude. Who thinks of that shit? Right, you know what I'm saying? He's touched everything. So as a person, as a viewer, you have to go into it understanding who this comedian is. It's I was telling you again. You're not gonna go to Anthony Jeselnik and believe everything he fucking says.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He talks shit about he makes fun of everything in a terrible way.
Right.
And then just if you take that shit personally, then it's your fault. Essentially, in that point. I'm why are you taking this personally? This is who he is as a comedy brand. And that's who Dave Chappelle is. Dave Chappelle is the type of person who just fucking says it how he thinks, says it how he feels, and it's up to you to either agree with him or disagree with him. Mm-hmm. And I think the best thing about this is just starting a conversation again, a conversation of comedy, a conversation of what can be joked about and what cannot be joked about. And I don't necessarily agree with the whole, how the media is kind of saying, "Oh, fuck this guy. Let's try to cancel him out," whatever.
Here's a headline of one of the articles right now. It says, "All the worst white people love Dave Chappelle Sticks and Stones." I'm just but
it doesn't make sense.
Of course it doesn't. It's just them
he's making fun of those people too, all those white people. So I'm just kind of are you sure about that?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just
it's just clickbait shit. You know what I'm saying? The media's trying to cancel him because he doesn't conform to what the media wants, right? So it's just kind of no, that's Dave Chappelle. He's always done that. He's always been that way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's he's gonna do and say what he feels and thinks. And it's either you agree with him or you don't.
Right.
And if you don't, then just don't fucking watch him anymore. And you're all right, he's dead to me. And that's it. Don't fucking keep watching his special. Every special he's had, people are saying the same shit.
Right. Well,
like 3 times.
His newest specials, right?
His last 4 maybe, like pretty much once he got on Netflix.
Every special he's had, people have always trying to cancel him
Right.
about all the shit he's saying.
Right.
So this one is just it was that much bigger for some reason, like
For some weird reason.
and
Well, you know why? Actually, it's not some weird reason. It's because all his specials were in the same year. So it was kind of like back to back to back. So it kind of got old. But now, after a 2-year break, he's back with one. So yeah,
Right.
he's back in the spotlight.
yeah.
So that explains it.
So I don't know. It's just like you should know who you. And he even says it in his joke, like you clicked on my fucking face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you should already know what you're ready to get
Which
ready
was
for.
funny.
Yeah. Before you guys go, ooh, because I think he did that with the. Damn, what was that dark ass thing he started with?
He started with.
With
Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah.
He's like, remember, it was just everyone's applauding, and he's like, remember, we live in a world where Anthony Bourdain killed, or something like that.
killed
Yeah.
himself.
He's like,
And-
never forget, and everyone kind of goes, ooh.
Yeah. And it's that joke was okay, but like it's funny though because it's like he was talking to Austin. He brought it like full circle. What I like about Dave, he brings everything full
Yeah.
circle.
At the end, he brought it back again.
Yeah. And he was saying that, like, you know, like he had a friend that he made. This guy was supposed to be a lawyer, a big shot lawyer. Then he ended up working at Foot Locker. And he's like,
Right.
Yo, did you think about killing yourself? Like,
Yeah. He's like, he had the referee outfit and everything.
But at the beginning, you're just like, oh,
It's
and then he brought it home, like
Yeah.
you know, like this guy, his life went to shit, and he's never ever once thought about killing himself.
Yeah,
you know
not
what I'm
once
saying?
that motherfucker thought about killing himself. And
Yeah.
everyone, oh.
So like,
so
and then when you think about it, you're like, damn, that's kind of true.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
that's a good joke.
I do agree with you. When he started, I'm like,
yeah.
it's okay.
It's kind of like, yeah.
For like
It's like the Michael Jackson one,
and
too.
then when
The-
he brought it
yeah.
back, the Michael Jackson one.
the Michael Jackson one was like, okay,
It's like, ooh.
I don't believe these motherfuckers. But then the joke is just like, you got your dick sucked from the King of Pop. Like, you go to school, you're on cloud fucking 9. This is Michael Jackson in the 90s. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Like,
And
can
that
you,
joke is funny though. 'Cause
it's funny. It's just funny.
it's fucked up, but it's funny.
Because the thing is for me, it's like I like to visualize a lot of things,
Yeah.
and like. Just the thing is like just imagine your kid just going to school, fucking your backpack is on, and you're just like walking down the class, and like people are just like, oh, what the fuck are you smiling about? Like, yo, I just got my dick sucked from Michael Jackson. That's fucking funny.
That's hilarious.
I can't.
Yeah. You can't take it personally.
can't, like, I just can't.
It's just a fucking joke. you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. And the thing is, it's like I understand the times and I understand where we're at, but Michael Jackson has been a controversial person for years.
Yeah.
Not before, not now, not before. People have been joking about this dude
for sure.
touching kids for years. We've heard this joke.
This joke's been going on for
before.
decades.
And honestly, when you think about it, let's take it back to like a quote unquote realistic point. Me as a parent, I would never fucking let my kids sleep over at Michael Jackson's house.
Right, and-
like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, why would you even do that?
Right.
Why would a grown ass famous person want to hang out with your fucking kid?
Right. And what you're saying though has been said before by many
Yes,
comedians.
yes.
So it's like these jokes have been done before, but now with the time, with the lens we have now,
Right.
it's like, hey, well, it could be true, or this did happen. Well, we knew had.
It's been going on for so long.
We had enough to believe it. It's not like
Yeah.
this. I never saw a documentary, but it's not like the documentary like opened this new window that we never thought of.
No.
Like,
It just
oh,
went deeper into something we already knew
right,
about.
exactly. So we knew about this already.
Yeah.
So it's like now you're telling me we can't joke about something we already knew, but now we know it's true.
Yeah, just because they got explicit with the details, we still can't joke about it. No,
I mean, if
it's
anything,
the same situation.
now that we know more details, like
there's more ammunition.
Exactly.
it's-
Yeah.
He also got on defending Louis C.K.
Yeah.
right.
So everyone was like, "Oh, he's defending Louis C.K." And I thought it was funny, dude.
It's again like the whole Louis C.K. thing is all right. He never straight up like raped or did anything like to anybody. He just fucking jacked off in front of people.
he was just a
So, he's a
I mean,
fucking creeper. I
yeah.
mean, okay, it's fucked up.
Right.
But as a person, Orlando, if you pull your dick out right now and start jacking off, I'm be like, all right, I'm leaving. Like, I'm not gonna stay here and watch him. Like, oh my god, I gotta stay here and watch him. Like, come on, dude. As a person, like, if someone's doing something you don't like, get the fuck up and walk away from the situation.
I just got like a meme that we can make that could just fucking kill. Like,
oh yeah.
it's all right. So it's Louis C.K. whips his dick out, and then it's that SpongeBob meme where he gets up and like, I'm out of here.
Nice. But like again, it's the same thing. Like, and that's what Jay Chappelle's making fun of, right?
Right.
Because he's not forcing himself upon you. He's not like
Right.
physically abusing you,
Right.
in the sense of you're like, oh, I can't escape this man.
Right.
It's like he's jacking it. Like even some people have said, like, oh, he asked for permission. Like, yeah, go for it. Like,
Right.
do it. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
And even like there's the one one of the special was making fun of, like the lady on the phone. He's jacking off. Like, all right, bitch, just hang up the phone. Like,
Right.
why are you listening to him jacking off? Like,
Right.
Oh,
you
so
could
so he
easily
so
hang
he
up the
already
phone.
he already touched that subject.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
But
previous
he's
one.
touched that subject before. And that's why I'm thinking like he's running out of juice at this point. Because that's why I'm thinking like, yo, you're making the same jokes. I get it. Maybe that's why the media's hitting you hard because you're not backing down. But I'm also thinking that you haven't had time to make new material.
That makes sense.
So you keep like going, recycling these jokes.
Yeah. So I thought that joke was funny because I hadn't heard it before. Like I
Right.
said, I haven't heard.
But
any
it's
of
a
his-
different variation of the joke.
Right. But still,
But
it's sometimes
it's
if it's the same material,
the same
it's
topic.
it's like
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what it is. Like he hasn't really made new topics.
like a fresh topic.
Like a fresh topic.
Yeah.
And I think he needs like a year or two
No.
more to like build something.
But it's been a
It's been
year and
2
a half.
years.
But that's what I'm thinking. But the thing is, dude, he said he has 4 specials in 2017.
Yeah.
Meaning he filmed those probably back to back.
Probably, yeah.
And then this one probably was filmed like early 19 or 2018.
Yeah, earlier in the year.
Earlier
yeah.
in this year.
You're right.
So like he hasn't had time to build
Yeah.
more material. He
Yeah.
just hasn't.
Yeah. You're right.
Like it clearly shows that you haven't worked on this.
and this essentially was him ranting more.
Right. Like
Right.
even if you had worked on it, like you're at that point already where everyone sees you, they laugh at you because you're fucking Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, like you're not, if you're working at a club or whatever, you're just not getting the true response.
Yeah.
You know? Like I thought one joke that was pretty fucking like kind of weak in my opinion was the trans joke again, but it was the Asian where he was just like, you know, the situation's funny. You're born into something that you don't necessarily agree with. It's like me as a black guy talking in Asian. It does this Chinese impersonation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people thought it was
That was a smart joke if you think about it. I'm just like,
It's smart.
He's comparing it to a sense of like, all right, these are people are saying that they're born male, thinking, oh, I'm a female.
I get it, yeah.
And he's like, all right, well, if I'm a black guy, what if I was born like, but I'm a Chinese person?
Right.
Like, it makes sense.
it's
though,
it's a transracial joke. It's
Yeah, yeah.
it's the joke that I've heard where when Rachel Dozio came out, whatever their name
yeah,
is.
the fucking lady who thought she was
Right.
black.
So I heard this joke when this chick came out. So I've heard this joke already. They're like, oh, I feel like another race. So I heard that joke already.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me as someone who
I get it.
who likes comedy, I'm like, you could have done something else.
Right. That makes sense because even I thought like I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, but I didn't laugh about it. You know, it's kind of like I nodded my head like,
oh, like interesting.
yeah,
point
yeah,
you're
yeah,
making.
yeah.
Right.
Which happened quite a few times in this one. I'm like, yeah, but it wasn't funny, laugh
Yeah.
out loud funny. It was like, I
Right.
get your point.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's probably the reason why, because I have heard that joke, obviously because of that lady. So
Right.
that it's probably the same reason why
Yeah,
for
exactly.
me.
So that's the thing with him. It's like I don't feel like I feel like if he had some time to work on the material, I feel like maybe he'll still get the shit. He'll get the shit storm that he's getting.
He'll still get the shitstorm because it's just gonna be he's gonna turn on the news and be like, all right, I'm gonna make fun of that.
Right.
I'm gonna make fun of that.
Right.
I can't talk about this. I'm gonna talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, you know what a joke I thought was clever was like, okay, like, if we have a gun situation, how do we stop like people from having guns? Give all black people guns.
Yeah, all black people guns and watch how quick. Yeah,
that's fucking funny. Like
that was funny.
Yeah,
because
Watch how quick if everyone registers.
because just that alone is such a like the joke is so many levels. Like
Yeah.
it's racism, it's gang violence, it's all this other stuff that's piled on top. That you're like, okay, fuck, this is so good, and that's what I want out of him.
Yeah, that was one of his last jokes too. That was a good one.
So like I don't know, I think the jokes were fine. I thought it was great. I just thought that like as a seasoned veteran or whatever, not even seasoned veteran, you're looked at this guy as a god, and that's why people are
a comedy god.
You're a comedy god,
Right,
So
and then
everyone just expected more from you.
I can see that. That I could see, but like the reviews.
but that's different from the reviews he's getting.
Exactly. I was gonna say that I would understand if
Yeah.
the reviews said that, but the reviews are saying you
They're trying
can't
to cancel him.
You shouldn't touch any of these subjects you just spoke about, and that's bullshit. Because
Nah.
as far as stand-up comedy, I'm sure we all agree that no subject is taboo.
No subject.
Right.
is
No
right.
subject is taboo. It just
Right.
depends on how you
You have to execute it well.
on how you execute the joke.
Right.
You can't do a dumb joke.
Right.
About these things. It has to be a smart joke. It has to be
Right.
like an intelligent way of doing it.
Right.
You can't just be like a fucking you're gay. Like no, that's
Right.
that's a cheap joke. Like what the fuck? Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
not, what are
That's
you
not
doing?
funny.
That's not
I
funny.
think-
You're making like that's a put
and I
down.
think even like some of these jokes, even if you word them differently, like when he's like, you know what, I don't believe the Michael Jackson guys. If he would have said something,
I don't
like,
believe those motherfuckers.
If he didn't say that part, and he was like, man, what these guys went through was fucking crazy, but they got their dick sucked from the King of Pop. Like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the same joke, same thing, but you just changed it to like, wow, what you guys went through was fucking terrible. But there's a silver lining to that, and that's fucking funny. Like, because then you acknowledge the pain or whatever. You acknowledge the trauma that's happened to the victims. Because a lot of this is like victim blaming.
Yeah.
Like the people.
Oh, he said it straight up.
Right.
I am what you call a victim blamer.
Right.
He says it. Yeah.
And it's all like,
what were you wearing?
Yeah.
What were you doing? Yeah.
That was funny. That was a funny setup. Though.
It's a funny setup. Yeah.
And then it led to what you were saying, like, oh, you got your dick sucked by Michael.
Yeah.
So it was a funny. The whole setup was
right.
It led to something funny.
And I think it's I'm not like victim blaming, but have empathy for victims. I think, but he's more like looking on the other side, like, oh, it's the victim's fault. The articles are writing. It's like you have empathy to people. You don't have empathy for the Michael Jackson kids.
I don't think it has anything to do with empathy.
But that's what the media is saying. Like, you don't feel for these people. And I feel like the same special, but if he would word things differently, I feel like he would have got a different reaction. Kind of like, man.
Yeah, man, like they got it tough, but... And then...
Exactly. Like, man, I can't believe that these kids went through this stuff when they were kids, but... You got your dick sucked for fucking for fucking the King of Pop, or you're hanging out with that fucking monkey all the time. Like, if you would have said something like that, like you're riding rides on Neverland, getting your dick sucked, hanging out with a monkey, now you're living the fucking life for just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's a different thing because at least in my head, like
I get you.
So you're saying he should have had a better setup to these jokes?
Nah, dude, you be you. Like, he's original. I'm just saying, like, media wise, like, if you want to,
but he's not trying to do
exactly. But I'm just saying, like,
right. He's just saying how the media could have painted him better if he'd done that.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be catering to the media.
No, I'm just saying,
the media.
and I'm thinking,
you know what I'm saying, like you mentioned earlier before, like when we were talking about this, you're like, if you want PC, there's people to go out there for that,
right?
Like, he's not it, so why the fuck are you going to him for that?
Right. But I'm thinking, like, so because the media is saying you can't cover these jokes, and I'm thinking there is a way where you can cover them. Like, with acknowledging that, like, hey, this is an issue, but also making fun of it. And that's what I'm trying to say. I think that you could do it in a smart way where nobody gets mad. And I know that's almost impossible nowadays. But I think that, like I said,
I don't think you should write like that, though.
No, but I'm saying, like, the thing is, you could write out of like that kind of way.
You could write smartly.
You could write that way, but the thing is, But
then your mentality is like, oh, I don't want to offend anybody.
No, because the same joke, you're not. It's not that.
But your setup is to not offend, but then you dropping the hard hammer. Like, but he doesn't do that. He doesn't give a fuck about not trying to offend anybody.
What I'm trying to say is, like, you're not. It's not you're writing. It's like, oh, I'm just trying not to offend. It's like you're writing in an aspect of, like, I think you can write something as like, hey, I know, I'm knowledgeable of, like, what's going on, but also there's a joke here that there's funny. Yeah. I'm not saying that, like, hey, you're trying to be like PC culture, like, oh, let me not try to offend. It's like, what I think a lot of media is like, you're not listening to us.
Yeah.
I think that's what the reaction is. Like, it's a backlash of, like, hey, the minorities in these situations are not being heard. So I think there is a way to smartly write jokes where, like, I hear you, but this shit is funny.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is, where that's the backlash.
I get what you're saying, but in the sense of, you're like, I like the fact that he's not catering to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck if he has, like, let me try to write this in a way that I don't offend anybody, but I also could make a joke about it. Like, no, dude, like, you just do fucking you.
Right.
And that's Dave Chapelle. Dave Chapelle.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So I'm like, if you want that type of comedian, then go find somebody who does that.
Right.
Like, that's not him, though.
Go watch Joe Coy, who apologizes every time he says a racist joke.
Joe Coy apologizes every time.
He's funny.
Before he says a joke, and after he says a joke, he's apologizing.
He's like, I'm sorry, this is really racist, but this black guy, I know, it's really racist. I know, I get it. I'm like, all right, you didn't have to apologize twice to me.
Right.
Yeah, but that's what... If you want that, there's the comedian. There's the, like, right, the perfect example. There's a comedian who can do that for you. Mm-hmm. He actually is, like, I understand what's going on, but there's a joke here. Right. And Dave Chappelle's like, nah, nigga, like, this is it. This is fucking reality, and it is my joke.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's it. I don't give a fuck about anybody or anything. So, like, I don't agree to catering to anything. If that's your style, then yes, for sure. Do
right.
Apologize, set up joke if you want. Like, fuck it. But Dave Chappelle's like, I don't. Why would I need to do that? I've never done it in the past, and I'm not gonna start doing it now.
Right.
Like
Of course.
I've always been straight up. I've always told you how it is.
Yeah, but
and I'm gonna joke about it.
Yeah, those of you who know me from my show.
That's it. Like I'm not gonna apologize for my jokes. I'm not gonna even try to cater to anybody. I'm like, this is me, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't.
Right.
And I think the media is like, no, you need to cater to
It was
us.
it was funny. There's that part. Shit. Now I don't know if I'm getting confused between specials where he was talking about what he could or couldn't get away with on the show. Did he
Oh
mention?
yeah, that was this one.
Okay,
where he said the N-word ER.
Yeah.
And then he said faggot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's like, oh no, you can't use the F word, but you can use the N word. And then he's like, isn't that funny how that works?
The setup was like he went to the office and
The network,
and the network, and they're like, oh, you can't use the word faggot.
Yeah, he's like, why?
It's
he's
offensive.
Like, he's like, why can't I use the word faggot and I can use nigger? He's like, well, it's because you're black, Dave. He's like, yeah, but I'm not a nigger.
Yeah, and
that's it.
That's funny.
And that's fucking perfect, and it's smart. I'm like, yes, that's very true. Like,
I forgot about that. That was so good.
Yeah.
so
It's like, and the thing is,
But I'm also not.
yeah, and the thing is, it's the ER. It's a hard.
Yeah.
You know, the hard version of the N word.
Yeah.
That was so
ER, which is like fuck,
You
that's
can't, you're not.
irrefutable. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't
Right.
use that fucking word.
right.
Well,
So it's
Dave, you're not.
So like, but he's like, yeah, I'm not an ER either. So it's just kind of like, you're right, Dave. Like, that's true. Like, you could say this, but you can't say that. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. And as a person, I'm just kind of like, there's ways about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, I don't know. It's just. That's what
I get what you're saying, and I agree with you. Like, if you're complaining about Dave Chappelle, there's a ton of comedians.
Yeah, there's a bunch
that you can look it up. That will, I think what it is that Dave Chappelle is, you know,
he's famous. He's a big comedian,
and so you expect just like
you
something,
shouldn't expect shit,
right? And but that's the thing. That's a lot of people, regardless of whoever you are, you have expectations going into something. That's just how we are. We expect. Like Star Wars, we all get excited, even though now it's trash. We're getting excited. We expect something
for sure.
Quality.
Yeah.
And so even me, who I'm like, yo, these jokes at the end of the day, like, I agree. Like, you can joke about anything, but I think quality wise, it's a little bit okay. It's like,
but the thing is
it's
that
lukewarm.
I agree with you on that one, especially after you just mentioned he said these jokes before, or at least the
topic.
The topic. It's like, okay,
and he's just venting at this point.
Yeah,
right.
He ran out of shit to say, so he needed to fulfill a contract, and he's just venting, dude.
And that's fine. But that's the thing. Like, when it's your fucking Chapelle, like you're on top of the world, or whatever. I expected more out of him. Like, I don't mind what you said. It's just, I think you could have said it in a clever way.
But you know what? The media does mind what he says, and that's the fucking problem.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Do you think this maybe added to more people watching it though?
Fuck yes.
Of course.
So
Look, if you look at this article, if this special right now, a lot of the articles gonna say, oh, you definitely shouldn't watch Dave Chappelle's new stand up is fucking this. Oh, Dave Chappelle's stand up is this, that, and this and that.
Vice says you can definitely skip Dave Chappelle's new Netflix
and then
special.
but the thing is that people know Vice. They know what they are. They are PC journalism. A lot of these journalism who wrote that are very PC. So then people are like, wait, if they said that, damn, I think I should definitely watch it now.
Right.
And it's like, because you know who they are as a media.
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's also what it
Hey,
is.
look how Trump got elected.
Exactly. So
Ayo.
yeah. So it's just more of that where it's like, and also like now we're at this point where like, we can't have civil discussions without people like doubling down. So I feel like if people are like, if you like Dave Chappelle's special, you're alt-right or whatever. And it's like, no, fuck.
Dude.
And it's like, fuck you. And it's like, and then you have like articles like Breitbart and like alt-right journalism are like, hey, Dave Chappelle's special is great. And it's like, whoa, this is weird.
He fucking hates you. Why are you talking about this?
And this is
like,
also weird that you praise Dave Chappelle, who fucking probably does not like you as well.
Yeah.
So
Did they really?
there's a few Breitbart articles that are like, I think
Look,
Breitbart.
the thing is that both far extremities of the political spectrum, the far left and the far right, far left hated it because they hit these topics. Far right, like, yeah, he hit this topic, he made fun of them. Fuck yeah, here's what we should be doing. So it's kind of like, no, dude, he fucking hates the far left and he hates the far right, and both of you are just fucking feeding into his shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just. People try to, like, the far left are trying to destroy him, and the far right is kind of like, oh no, he's doing our work.
Yeah.
Like, no, dude, he fucking hates both of you motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because if anything I know about Dave Chappelle, he's one of the most centralized people. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
exactly.
Like, he doesn't give a fuck. Like, he was talking about Trump, and he was like, "Oh, how do you feel about Trump getting elected?" I was like, "Well, I guess I don't have to pay that much taxes anymore." And I'm like, "Yeah, because he's fucking rich now." So it's funny for like that's a funny joke.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Trump, but it's funny that he's saying that because Trump is gonna fucking help you because you are rich. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like it's like people are trying to make him be something that he's not.
Right,
you know
exactly. Yeah.
And the media wants him to conform to what it is, and it's like, no, dude, he's not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think at the end of the day, we need
that.
We need comedy.
Conversation starters.
We need comedy like that. We need people like that saying, "Hey, look, like I'm not gonna." And the thing is, Dave Chappelle, when you get him to sit down and have a conversation, he'll be honest and he'll talk about like, "Hey, I've learned some things. Hey, I've grown. Hey, I'm this and this and this." And when you see him as a person, like when you know him as a person, not the persona of Dave Chappelle, you realize, oh, okay, he's not a bad person. He's a nice guy, whatever. He doesn't have these terrible views. He's actually just finding the humor in everyday life.
Yeah.
You know, and it's, I don't know, like I was trying to think of a joke like right now, like thinking like, okay, what's controversial that can be funny? It's like a gay guy giving direction with a dick in his mouth. Like you probably won't be able to understand what he says to you. Make it right, make it left. Yeah. Like this is like, it's like things like that. It's hard to make jokes like that, but even that could be a joke. Like that's funny, and it's like, but you can understand that, like, hey, like this is just a joke. Don't.
It's a joke, dude.
And it's not like you're trying to exactly not trying to oppress anybody or bring anybody down. The thing is that what it is that a lot of people as well, it's like they want to validate a lot of things. And it's
their
like
own opinions.
Exactly. And so like when Dave Chappelle, this comedy god, is saying these things, you do have people who are like, you see, fuck the LGBT community. Fuck this.
And he's not saying that.
It's fuck that. And he's not saying that. He's not. He's just saying like, hey, like these people are fine, but there's just something funny about them. Yeah. And that's just everybody has something funny about them. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so it's just like,
right. People have this weird thing that because he's a comedy god, he has a responsibility to, and it's like, no, he doesn't. Right. He doesn't have that responsibility.
Right. And that's the thing where like, and it's an interesting thing where we're in this, where everyone and everything is online. And so anybody can get their fuel for whatever, you know, like people who are neo-Nazis or alt-right or whatever, and people who are super left, they can find their fuel and gravitate towards it. And the thing is that,
and stay in their bubble. Yeah.
But we also have in this way where like, yes, you can neo-Nazis and people who want to like cause harm or hurt people. There is a place that they can go and get that fuel. Yeah. Can Dave Chappelle fuel these people? Maybe in a way, if someone wants to look at it that way.
Yeah.
Someone can look at Dave Chappelle's special and be like, yeah, fuck that, you know?
Check this out. So I was looking at reviews of his special. The only one that I found out of 20 articles, the only one that gave it a good review is from Washington Examiner, which is far right.
Right.
Like as soon as you go into it, it starts talking about nothing but Republican stuff.
Right.
So that's pretty funny. It's like, huh.
People see what they want to see, man.
Yeah. Right. They said Dave Chappelle's brilliant new Netflix special, Sticks and Stones. Brilliant. That's the only one that would have the balls to say that, and it's a far right.
Right.
It's just the people see what they want to see, man.
Right. And I do think that like I do think that it does matter when your words carry volume. I think it does. I think you do at a point have a responsibility. You know, like I think Trump has empowered, like for example, a lot of people who have hatred towards minority and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And I feel like
completely different positions, but I get what you're saying.
So I feel like when you are in a position of power, I feel like you do have this responsibility for that. But Dave Chappelle is a comedian. His job is to make jokes.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, if you separate the two, Dave Chappelle the man and Dave Chappelle the comedian, and you look at Dave Chappelle the man, he is not for whatever thing you want him to be for.
Yeah. And
so, but that takes nuance, that takes an adult, you know? And I do think that like, I'm not saying as a you have to be responsible, but it's just like I could see people getting this special and spreading hatred over it.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Like, you know, I can see someone be like, yeah, well, I'm a fucking Dave Chappelle fan. Fuck this. Fuck, you know, the LGBT community. Fuck Asians or fuck whatever. All people are liars. I could see someone doing that because I could see someone being engulfed in that hatred and looking for fuel. But that's not Dave Chappelle's responsibility.
Yeah.
Like his responsibility is to make people laugh.
Yeah. It's not a position of leadership in any
Yeah.
way.
Exactly.
It's literally just, hey, you want an hour to kill? Check this out.
He is there for comedy. He is not there to
and that's for any comedian
to be a role model or
Any.
to exactly.
Any comedian is their job to entertain you and make fun of shit and make you laugh.
Exactly.
Yeah, he doesn't have a show like John Oliver or, like Daily Show. He doesn't have any of that shit.
And those are comedy shows that people are taking very seriously. You know what I'm saying? They're
because
news comedy shows.
Right, because they're on. Yeah.
And those are positions of, like you said, if Dave Chappelle had that and he was talking shit, I'm like, wait, Dave,
Yes.
kind of slow down, buddy.
That-
You need to inform us. Your job is you're doing
to
a
inform.
comedy show that's to inform people,
Right.
And you're talking shit, and that's not cool.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, that's different position of
Completely
powers.
different. If he had that, then the argument would be different.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it doesn't, so it doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. And
He's
so
just a comedian.
that's where I understand where like it's your as a or as a person your responsibility, but at the end of the day, like that's not his job. That's not, and that's what the media is, or at least these articles are forgetting, are clearly forgetting. Like, okay, you know what? You as a media, it's your job to inform, and it's your job to maybe like put that positivity out, maybe have a certain message to leak because you are the media, but that's not his job.
No.
His job is not that. And so you're confusing, positions.
Yeah, for sure. I highly agree with you, man.
Yeah.
That's a perfect way to put it. That's a perfect way to wrap it up.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Great discussion, guys.
Yeah, super great. And Bill Burr's special is coming out today. So by this drops, it should be already out. And he's also a very controversial comedian.
Yeah.
I heard a podcast about him. He said not too controversial, not too not too inappropriate or whatever. But he's still someone that can push buttons, and he's fucking hilarious.
He speaks his mind too.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see if he gets any coverage.
No, he's not.
He's going to need the views.
He'll probably get a little bit, but not the level of Chappelle.
Right.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this podcast, this episode. Let us know what you thought. Let us know what you thought about Dave Chappelle's episode. I mean, latest comedy stand-up, Sticks and Stones. Give us some feedback what you thought about it. Let us know if you actually see it. Do you agree with what we said?
Okay.
Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Later.